What's going on, boys? It's your boy Serena Macaroni MMA here, back with another video. And today I'm gonna be going over the Contender Series Week 4. Somebody had kind of a late reaction to it. I mean, I watched it live, finished everything. I just didn't really upload a video. I'm kind of late on it. But it's my instant reaction to it. Another good week, another nice week. Pretty much almost all finished for the main event. Even the main event was pretty fun because it was an underdog win. But today we're making matchups for every contract winner this week. It's what I've been doing every week. I'm starting doing it every week as well. Keeping doing the trend of this. She's making like these guys the contract winners first UFC fights. But yeah, this is overall a pretty good week. Week 2 is really fun too, but I think this week is slightly better though, just because of the finishes and like the craziness of them. But let's get a move on. Get straight into the matchups. The first matchup being, I'm going to have Nick Galante versus Jackson McVeigh being the first matchup of the winners. It's the first fight he versed Petruzzello, the guy with the mohawk with the blue in it, whatever, from Argentina. He had Kevin Blades in his corner. I thought, wait a minute, Kevin Blades in the corner, wait a minute, he might be able to put something off here. And then he ended up getting knocked out in like maybe 20 seconds. Or maybe 15 actually. But this is how the fight went. Galante came in there. He's known as a grappler. He didn't grapple at first. What he did was, he did actually. He went for kind of a takedown. Kind of got smells over there in the clinch. Instantly threw one shot, connected, but it wasn't strong enough. Second shot, boom, knocked him out. Hit him a couple more times while he's knocked out. Fight was over. Like literally, that's how quick this went. And I think, we didn't really get to see Nick Galante's grappling in this fight, really. But, I would put him against another grappling guy. And Jackson McVeigh was going for a nice TKO win against West Schultz. You could put him against West Schultz, too. Both solid both middleweights, not solid, meh. Who are grapplers, primarily grapplers. Jackson McVeigh can strike a little bit. We saw that. He had a nasty knee on West Schultz in the fight last week on the Sacramento card. But I think this would be a good matchup, a very interesting matchup, because otherwise they're both grapplers. I do think, because Jackson McVeigh did versus a grappler in West Schultz, but he brought the fight to the feet because West Schultz really took him down at first. So I don't think this fight could be on the feet, but we already saw Galante can definitely knock people. He can definitely finish people on the feet. This will be a very fun matchup. I think this will be a nice little test for Galante. I mean, he did a quick KO. We don't get to see much, but let's see if he can get past a guy like Jackson McVeigh in the middleweight division. Next matchup I've made here, we're gonna have Ronald Humphrey. We're gonna have him versus Leon Shabazian. Now, Ronald Humphrey coming to this fight. Also, I forgot to mention, we're gonna I'll announce the matchup, then I'll kind of talk about the fight they had, and then I'll explain why the matchup. Like this matchup makes sense. But Ronald Humphrey, this is in the welterweight division. He absolutely mauled Alexis Miranda. Alexis Miranda was coming to this fight. He was known for his boxing. His boxing was I saw a couple of clips of it. It looked fine, all right. But overall, Ronald Humphrey literally just dominated. He just came in there pretty early in the fight. He slammed him, picked him up off his feet completely, slammed him. And then he had another slam earlier on too. He really controlled Alex Miranda. He took him down quite a few times, and then literally, I'm pretty sure all of his wins are by finish, just straight TKO wins, knockouts. And this fight, he did pull off a submission when he pulled off a rear naked choke. The thing about this fight made it so crazy that Ronald Humphrey, he cut open Miranda early into the fight, on the forehead, with the elbow, and he didn't even notice it. He didn't know it landed fully, but clipped him, got him with that elbow, boom, took him down, got a hold of his back, and then choked him out. It was over. Alexis Miranda, he tried, but Ronald Humphreys, to me, coming into this fight, I thought when he had 4 professional fights, I was like, wait a minute, I don't know about this guy, because maybe I want to see him, even if he wins, or maybe might want to see him polish up a little bit, maybe get some more fights on his resume, and then he can come back to the Contender Series, and maybe get a contract in the UFC. But he showed he somewhat belongs. A little bit, I would say, reckless in the fight. He kind of took a lot of shots, kind of just didn't look the smoothest, but he pulled off a finish, quick finish. He showed he was dominant, and yeah, got a contract. And I think fight for him be against Leon Shabazian. Leon Shabazian literally just fought in like June and got TKO'd. I think this is like a layup for Ronald Humphrey, but it's just a test to see if he can hang off a guy like Leon Shabazian. Leon Shabazian is like a lankier welterweight, very chinny. I think Ronald Humphrey will not come out, but still interesting fight to be made here. And yeah, we can move on to the next fight, that being Sean Clancy Jr. And we're gonna have him versus Nikolai Varednikov. Sean Clancy Jr. To me, out of all the contract winners this week in the Contender Series, he looked the most cleanest, smoothest, very calm. He looked like he was like UFC ready from the eye test. If you watched him fight, even watching a lot of his like when they play the highlight tapes with him, like he looked very clean. He never overstepped. He looked like he knew when to kind of close the distance, get in someone's face, and like hold his distance. And he fought Gary Blotto. I'm not gonna lie, if you look at this matchup, you look at both these guys, you would assume that Sean Clancy would beat this Gary Blotto 9 times out of 10. Like Gary Blotto was tough. He lasted to round two. But the main thing I want to point out with Sean Clancy Jr. Not the fact that like he's really smooth, he's really you know, like calm, poised, but the fact like it's the elbows he was laying on the ground because he's also a pretty good grappler. Um, he took him down, landed a bunch of nasty elbows. Got a TKO win over Gary Blotto, but nasty elbows really hammered into his face. Gary Blotto got cut open. Um, I mean, Sean Clancy was kind of a little bit, he got clipped a little bit. You can see the redness on his body, but overall, he kind of just really showed that Gary Blotto didn't have a chance. And there was a pretty, not the biggest height advantage, but like actually no, it was kind of big. I think Gary Blotto was like 5'8" ish, I think 5'9", and Sean Clancy Jr. was like 6'2", so it's a pretty big height advantage. But that didn't matter really because Gary Blotto he looked fine, but he just couldn't handle the grappling abilities of Sean Clancy Jr. But yeah, Adam versus Nikolai Varednikov. Needs to be a nice little good first matchup. Varednikov has a couple of fights in the UFC. Did get knocked down his last fight, but I feel like this would be a nice, fun test for Shankar Jr. I think it's a pretty even matchup. To me, Shankar Jr. really, like if I was the UFC, I would start pushing this guy really because he actually has the most potential out of all these guys on this week on the contenders who won the contract, and I think like he's the cleanest out of all of them. Like he looked like he wasn't reckless, made smart decisions. He knew what he was doing overall. But yeah, this to me this would be a really good first matchup for Shankar Jr. And I'm really excited to see him in the UFC. Hopefully, he can get to the ranking soon. We can move on to the next matchup we're gonna have here, that being Guillermo Ariel. And we're gonna have him for Sean Sharaf. Guillermo Ariel came off a win against Mario Piazon. Um, did literally, if you look at the strikes thrown, no strikes were thrown. Mario Piazon literally dove in for a single leg takedown, didn't get it. Right. Had him against the cage. Guillermo Ariel at first was just, holding him, trying to regain his position, get back on, get him back in front of him so they can start striking each other. Literally what happened was that Mario Piazon won't let go of the single leg, and he just got submitted. So I don't know. This dude is extremely stupid, Mario Piazon. I don't know why he just stood there. He could have honestly regained position, started striking from, or maybe went for another takedown, a different angle. Well, no, Guerrero got the win here by standing guillotine choke. Yeah, kind of a blobby guy, blobby heavyweight. He fought contenders before. I remember they mentioned that he fought Josh Hokett, and we see where Josh Hokett is now. He's like a top 10 ranked heavyweight. But with Guillermo Ariel, he has some potential, but I think he'll just be like one of those heavyweights you see here and there, like a Apex prelim. No offense to the guy, but that's all I see. I think a good fight for him would be Sean Sharaf. I know Sean Sharaf is booked to fight Gable Steveson on UFC 331. But if he doesn't get cut, I think a good first matchup would be like him against Gammy Uriel. Even like you can honestly put Gammy Uriel against like any low level blobby heavyweight, and you know he would probably do a decent job depending on who the guy is really. Like putting a Steven Aston, Steven Aston's probably gonna wreck this guy because he just beat Gammy Penn. Gammy Penn's better than Gammy Uriel for sure. But this would be a fun matchup. Not a fun matchup, man matchup. It's blobby always. You know, heavyweight kind of sucks right now, so we'll see what this guy. We'll see what we're in store for with Gammy Uriel. We can move on to the final matchup that I've made here. We're gonna have Alex Apodaca. We're gonna have her versus Chelsea Chandler. And Chelsea Chandler, let's be a Chelsea Chandler was a grappler. Alex Apodaca just beat Bellamere. But before we even get to breaking this down, actually, my fault. We need to talk about the upset win that she just pulled against Bellamere. Bellamere, to me, I even talked about this, I think, on like the week 3 matchmaking video I did for Contender Series, where I was saying Bellamere, to me, gonna submit in round 1, get a contract, make your way up. Actually, I didn't say all that, but I did say he's gonna get a contract. But you know, proved everybody wrong, really, because most people put a bet on her Bellamere to win like round 1 submission or just win the fight in general. But she ended up losing, getting outstruck. She had a couple of takedowns stuffed, a lot of openings when she's getting submissions, badly just destroyed. She just not capitalized. She got busted open. Buck got a couple, things on her face, a couple of damage, a little bit of damage she took. But overall, she just really showed that she was the better fighter. Now, I do think she didn't deserve a contract. She's only what 4-1. She's going to fight 3-1. I just think she needs more experience and like kind of a sloppy fight. If you're winning a fight against a guy like that, I think it really determines like, yeah, she had the reach advantage, but it's like I'm like meh on her. But I think a good fight for her would be against Chelsea Chandler, who's another grappler. He's beat a grappler. Contender Series. Now I want to see a versus UFC level grappler who has an up and down career in the UFC, but she just came for a win against Priscilla Cachoeira. Submitted her, so I do think she has a chance. Chelsea Chandler versus Alex Apodaca definitely could be somewhat competitive, but Apodaca really needs to watch out. Chelsea Chandler really is pretty good at her grappling. She's pretty good at that. From what I've seen in her wins, she has just some moments where she's like, striking isn't great. But I think this fight would be interesting. Let's really test Alex Apodaca, but I don't think she's gonna last long in the UFC. No, I'm not hating on her. I just don't think she's gonna last long in the UFC. But anyways, man, that's gonna be the end of the video here with the matchmaking for week 4. But we can move. It's gonna be it. Next up is gonna be the UFC Shanghai predictions video coming out the next day. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the content, like and subscribe, and I'll see you boys. Peace.